From where I'm standing here at the front of the chapel, you can see all the architectural details that make this such a beautiful space. The stained glass, the stone walls, and this beautifully painted dome over my head. But that's not how the chapel looked when it was built in 1925. When the chapel was built, there were windows on 3 sides that allowed natural light to filter in. We now have natural light only through the balcony. And our aging lighting system, which was installed more than 50 years ago, is not capable of fully illuminating this space. Meanwhile, the walls and the windows above the nave hold decades worth of smoke and dust. Imagine what a good cleaning will do. Imagine these stained glass windows beautifully lit and restored, just as we restored the balcony window 10 years ago. For many of us, we will see these windows in full splendor for the first time. Our renovation plan includes a comprehensive lighting plan that will eliminate dark corners and startling bright spots. The new system will give us the flexibility to adapt the lighting to whatever event is taking place, whether it is morning worship, an afternoon wedding, or an evening performance. Now let me tell you about 2 exciting innovations we are planning. Bob mentioned the accessibility challenge of these venerable old pews. There's no access along the side walls, and you know how difficult it can be to move from one end to the other when there's a crowd. So we plan to replace the pews with a more comfortable and versatile seating system. Rather than sitting bench style, each of us will have an individual chair. But if you're picturing 200 chairs scattered about the floor, don't worry. These handsome chairs can be locked together to create solid rows of seating, as wide or as narrow as we like. This will allow us to create broader pathways into and out of the chapel. We will be able to create space for a wheelchair simply by removing a chair or 2. We will also be able to create different configurations of seating. On most days, the seating will be set up in a traditional pattern, but we will also be able to worship in the round or create more space for an orchestra on concert nights. A flexible seating system will enable us to do so much more in worship, education, and the arts, which leads me to the other innovation I want to let you know about. One of the most meaningful features of any sacred space is the presence of a labyrinth. This ancient symbol is embedded in the architecture of cathedrals across Europe and in many houses of worship in this country as well. Perhaps the most famous labyrinth is in Chartres Cathedral in France, where worshipers have traced the circular pathway for centuries. When our new slate floor is installed, Kirkland Chapel will also have a beautiful built-in labyrinth. During Lent or at any time of year, we will only need to adjust the seating to open our own pathway to meditation, reflection, and prayer. Kirkland Chapel is a beautiful place. Our hope is to restore much of its original luster while at the same time adding to its beauty and functionality.